Let's shift gears a little bit and talk about the second strategy that we can use, and that's poking the bear or provoking a fight. Now, you may ask, who is the bear in this metaphor? Well, the bear typically is whoever is dominant within your category. That person who has the market share, that gets the most effectiveness because of their market share and market dominance. By provoking a fight, we trigger something that we often refer to as the underdog effect. And what that means is when there is a conflict between two entities and you don't have a rooting interest, you don't work for one or a natural fan of the one, we typically default to whoever the underdog is. It's why people root for whoever is playing the Yankees, or in college football, whoever is playing Alabama. We want to see those teams lose because we're pulling for the underdog. We can leverage that psychological phenomenon to elevate ourselves. And there have been some phenomenal examples of this. One of my favorites was from a few decades ago when Apple was wanted to provoke the bear. Now, the bear in their case was Microsoft and IBM. They dominated in the personal computer space, and they launched this Super Bowl ad talking about the individual breaking the chains and celebrating their individualness to stand out. They ran this ad one time, and it became iconic. And I'm sure we're all familiar with the ad. What you may not be as familiar with is now when Apple has become the bear, they are the 800-pound gorilla. Other folks are picking fights with them. Now, I'm sure you've seen in the press where Fortnite has decided they're going to pick a fight with Apple. They have sued them, but they're also going after them with their marketing. And they're using the same tactics that Apple used back when they were poking the bear. Now, they've taken the same ad and they recut it, but added Fortnite-type characters to it. And Fortnite is, of course, that online conflict game where people can customize their character and their attire and their weapons and add dance moves and things like that to harken back to the same ad about taking down the evil empire.
We have taken our tribute, our profits, our control. This power is ours and ours alone. We shall prevail.
Dig the unicorn axe. That's a nice touch to that one.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, the reason I chose this is because Fortnite is by no one's estimation a small company. I mean, worth a small fortune. They would often be considered the bear in a lot of circumstances, but yet they're able to leverage this because Apple is perceived to be bigger. And as a result, people root for Fortnite. We're beginning to see a lot of social movement and buzz that are pro Fortnite. Their numbers have gone up, their perception has gone up, and they actually have had enrollments go up. Another little bit older example goes back to telecommunications. Back in the 80s, if you were my age, you probably remember some of the telecommunications wars where MCI and AT&T were fighting over customers. Well, MCI launched 1-800-COLLECT. This was a notion like, hey, let's go after AT&T in this space. And they began to do really well. Well, AT&T responded and they said, hey, we're going to launch 1-800-OPERATOR, and we're going to heavily promote that. We're going to use our brand dominance to win. Well, MCI decided to poke the bear. They realized that a lot of people couldn't spell operator. And so they went and registered 1-800, several different variations of operator. And what happened when they provoked the bear, not only did they get a lot of press buzz about it, but every time AT&T would launch a big marketing push for 1-800-OPERATOR, MCI would go up substantially. Eventually, AT&T gave up, changed tactics, but it was a good example of poking the bear, leveraging some great smart psychology to lift themselves. But some more recent examples, perhaps, you're going to be very familiar with.
Yeah, a lot of people know about the fast food Twitter wars. The Chick-fil-A example here posted, per usual, will be closed on Super Bowl Sunday, no exceptions. Burger King says, don't worry, everyone, we'll be open per usual. And Chick-fil-A responds, awfully bold of you to assume people actually care if you're open on Sundays or not.
And, you know, when we started mentioning QSR, I'm sure everyone was thinking, oh, you're going to show a clever Wendy's snippet. Well, Wendy's certainly pioneered this space, but other companies are realizing poking the bear, particularly in the online space, can be a very effective way to draw attention to yourself and actually elevate yourself if you're poking somebody that's larger than you are.
Yeah, and you don't have to be a really big company to be doing this. This is an example of Strange Brew, a little coffee shop, responding to the McDonald's sign there that says, welcome back, MSU student. And they said, nice, which one? Just poking at the fact that they did not include an S after students. But also there's a lot of uncertainty going on in the back to school environment right now. So there might really just be one student showing up to campus. Maybe he hasn't watched the news for a couple months. It's like, where's everybody at? What's going on?
People love to see conflict, and it's a great way to elevate yourself. So in the case of Domino's, they are the bear. Domino's dominates the pizza delivery space and has continued to do really well, particularly during the pandemic. Well, they decided to poke a different bear. So Halo is a super popular game on the Microsoft platform. They launched a new version of it called Halo Infinite, and it got immediate backlash because the graphics weren't up to snuff, according to some of the online reviews. Well, Domino's, who has a core demographic of gamers, decided to poke the Halo bear and kind of making fun of the new Halo, as they did in this ad. Got a lot of positive buzz. The gamers all felt like, hey, Domino's has my back by picking a fight that I feel a need to invest in. And this natural rooting in any conflict leveraged by Domino's got them a lift in brand scores.
Yeah, a lot of gamers ordering pizzas to their homes right now, I'm sure. Now, one of the bears is New Orleans in terms of Mardi Gras. When we think of Mardi Gras, we think of New Orleans. But actually, Mobile, Alabama is the beginning of Mardi Gras. And so this is a story of what we did at Intermark Group to poke that New Orleans Mardi Gras bear and gain some awareness for the notion that Mobile is actually the original space of Mardi Gras.
News 5 at 6 o'clock. Alabama tourism officials score a big win in Mobile with a series of ads aimed at promoting Mardi Gras. The signs take direct aim at the carnival in New Orleans with signs in the Big Easy. News 5's Chad Petrie has the story.
Signs like these have been making the rounds online. This one snapped in Louisiana. It's one of 10 signs spread throughout the I-10 corridor telling drivers they are X number of miles away from Mobile.
And this won't surprise you to hear that Mobile did really, really well with Mardi Gras that year. I think they had some record attendance and draw a lot of positive attention to themselves. And it starts with this notion that people love conflict, particularly when it feels like good-natured conflict like this. So great execution of poking the bear.
This video is from our webinar series, and you can check out intermarkgroup.com/webinar to watch the full series. We're a full-service advertising agency that embeds a layer of behavioral science in our creative. And you can check out the information below to learn more about us and to contact us to help you solve your marketing challenges.